what they are after. Those medals right on place, dangling right in front of them like a carrot. The four-time outdoor national champion, 7th in the Euros with a PB of 192, the Slovenian 23-year-old Leah Apostolovsky. One of the French women national indoor and outdoor champion this year, debut at the World Champs and sailed into the final, Selene Jekyll. Jumping last in the final tonight, bronze in the European Indoors in 2021 with a massive 196, the Finnish athlete, 24-year-old Ella Junila. A PB in qualifying, couple of misses at 189, then cleared at 192 on third attempt. The Cyprus athlete, 21-year-old Elena Kulichenko. Fabulous indoor season saw this woman clear 198. She was 6th in the European indoors this year. From Germany, Christina Honsel. The second of the French women. Tears of joy when they both qualified. Successful junior here in the final for the first time, 25-year-old from France, Noelle Meniker. And the Jamaican Commonwealth Games gold medalist finalist last year cleared 192 in qualifying. National record holder of Jamaica with a 197. Lamara Distant. 8th in the last year's World Championships with 196. The bronze medalist from the World Indoors from Kazakhstan, Nadezhda Dubovskaya. And it's an athlete to watch, the 18-year-old from Serbia, bronze at the World Under-20s last year at just 17. She was 6th the year before, won the European Under-20s this year, the national champion in the long jump and high jump, Angelina Topic. 6th in the World Champs back in 2017 at just 20 years of age, was a successful heptathlete as a junior, double gold in the World Under-20s in heptathlon and high jump in 2014. The Great Britain athlete Morgan Lake from Ukraine, 4th at the Tokyo Olympics, 4th at the World Champions last year, wanting to be on that podium. Irina Gerashchenko, 6th in the Tokyo Olympics after hitting 2 meters for bronze in 2019 World Championship. Failed to make it out of qualifying last year. Can she get on the podium? From the USA, Vashti Cunningham, one of the Australians, the Olympic silver medalist, has had an incredible season to date, tops the world list. Nicola Olischlagers. And the defending champion, the 27-year-old from Australia, has clawed her way back from an injury and an operation at the beginning of the year to be back in contention for another medal, Eleanor Patterson. And finally in the lineup, at just 21 years of age, hard to believe she's still so young with her incredible CV to date, Olympic medalist at just 19, won her first World Championship medalist at 18. From the Ukraine, Yaroslava Mahuchik. Well, Dan, it's a pretty incredible lineup that we've got assembled here for this World Championships.
These ladies have been waiting all week long, and I always felt bad as a decathlete. It's later in the program, but these athletes have been here since the beginning with their team, getting through training, being on the practice track, seeing the bright lights of the stadium, waiting for their moments. They got a chance to get out and qualify now. It is for the gold, silver, and the bronze. But the anticipation when you're the last, you're on the last day, one of the last events to go, oh, you cannot wait till it is your turn. Well, that looked like an easy jump. Remember last season when she brought that World Championship home? She really connected with the crowd. That was a great D zone down there at Eugene, Oregon, and there were a lot of people when Vashti Cunningham went out. I think the all eyes turned to the Australian, and she got a lot of fans, and the Budapest fans have been really great. But you got to show a little character, show them some passion, and they'll get on your side.
We saw that in the high jump men's, didn't we, with Tam Berry? 28-year-old from France, Jekyll. This is a big occasion for Jekyll. First time she has been to a World Championships, and she's sailed into the World Championship final. So just a little bit of nerves perhaps, Dan?
Well, it's what's interesting, Tam, is you can take practice jumps for 2 hours, but there is just something different about you taking off the sweats and them calling your name, and now it is your turn. It's like, oh, everything tightens up a little bit. And I think that's one of the reasons why some of these we call so-called better jumpers, get in there and take a jump. You know, don't let 30 minutes. If you don't take a jump at this first height, you could be looking at 30 to 40 minutes before you take your first attempt, and that is not where you want to be in a championship meet.
Anna Postolovsky from Slovenia, she comfortably clears that opening height of 185. She was running for the Athletes Commission here. Jamaican athlete. Now, she's a bit of a talent. Lamara Diston, she won that Commonwealth Games beating the newly crowned world champion Patterson, so she is a big meet performer.
But she has had things her own way this entire collegiate track and field season. That was a good-looking jump. We've seen her really jump well, and then we've seen her just have some off days. I know her coach really well, Mario Satania at Texas A&M, and for the qualifying, I saw him in the restroom quick before the qualifying, and he said, I got to get down there and I got to get my jumper up, and she just sometimes doesn't bring it.
And Honsel of Germany, the 26-year-old, she's been struggling this season. 189 was her season's best, so 185 opening clearance. She'll be happy with that. She was out in the qualifying in Doha, went on debut. And her family's just flown in to see this final. I think she was a bit surprised to make the final. Now, this is an interesting athlete, the Serbian, who only turned 18 on July 26. Angelina Topic.
Well, she made that easily, but when I saw her in qualifying, she was just dropping that right shoulder a little bit, heading into the bar. And she's, you know, I look at her and you can't help but think about Mondo Duplantis, all right? Mondo Duplantis said that at a very young age, he knew that pole vaulting was going to be really prevalent in his life. But to be a world champion, to be the world record holder, you just can't want to follow in your father's footsteps. You have to be driven. And Topic is another example. Her father was an outstanding high jumper, Serbian record holder, and you know he's coaching her. But I see a lot of the same similarities.
And Gerashchenko clears that opening height comfortably, like we would expect. And she's been good all season till yesterday's scaring qualifier. Talk about families. Her husband Sergei is a retired high jumper as well. He's cleared 220. Next up, Dubovitskaya of Kazakhstan. She was 8th in the World Championships last year, so she's used to this company. Cleared 196 in those World Championships.
She'll want to change that takeoff point. She looked like she took off a little bit too far down the bar. You see her when she landed clear over there by that right standard. And you just want to narrow that window where you actually go over the bar. You don't want to go down the bar, give yourself too far, too many chances, too much time over that bar.
And the second of the French athletes, Meneke, gets over the height that her fellow countrywoman could not in the first attempt.
We've seen some shaky legs here. I like them. The majority of the jumpers, I think we're maybe going to see everybody at this opening bar, and rightly so. These championships have turned out to be really important and really hard on past championships. There is no quarter given here. Get in there, get your feet wet, and fight for it from the beginning.
We've seen this from Cunningham before, where she has a few issues with some of the heights that she should be able to clear so easily. She's now just reaffirming to herself that she should have this height. That was all.
You heard a gasp from the crowd. That was rather interesting. She looked like she was just way too close to the bar at takeoff. She'll adjust her stride, get a little bit more active.
Mahuchik has decided not to participate in this opening round. Does that become a little bit of a psychological battle too, to be able to say, I'm that good, I don't want to?
Absolutely. That sends a message. I love it. It tells the rest of the competitors, I'm very good. I'm probably better than all of you, so I'm going to pass in the first round.
The confidence must be high, which is good for an athlete who has cleared 206. 185 should be something that she could do in any training attempt, but the fact that it's a world championship, she's desperate for that gold global medal. As we saw Morgan Lake, the Great Britain athlete, clear big opening height. So Nicola Oleslagas has seen Mahuchik miss that, to not decide to take that opening height, so Oleslagas has decided to rest as well. Kulichenko, the Cyprus athlete, clear. So it's only one athlete so far, two athletes, sorry, with Vashti Cunningham and Soleil Jakel with the cross at this opening height. 24-year-old from Finland, Ella Junila, third at those European indoors a couple of years ago with a fantastic 196, has just struggled to recapture that form, but there you go.
Well, and just an easy make on the first attempt can really set your mind that she's got to push a little bit.
And Mahuchik taking her opening attempt, 190 and over. So she's into the competition now with an open ring round clearance of 190.
Well, that was a good-looking jump, very Mondo.
And she spoke about that. She spoke about that in the mixed zone. She said that she's here to win a medal. She wants a medal. So, I mean, it's a big ask. There's quality athletes, as we see. Oleslagas, the Australian Olympic medalist, opening up her campaign.
Very nice.
Okay. These athletes now need these clearances to stay in the competition. Jakel.
Well, and that's just a wasted jump. You just spent the last 10 minutes visualizing it, thinking about it. You get up there and just don't execute the run properly.
It was a lazy run up, wasn't it?
Well, and what happened is she came out of her turn and she pressed forward.
It's one of those things, though. She had a good third attempt at 192 yesterday, so that disappointment might be all it takes to give her the hunger to make that next step up next year. Honsel of Germany, her third attempt at 190. And she's over.
Well, that's just good patience. Riding that up to the top. That was just emotion. She used the emotion of the crowd. Look at the red marks on her leg. She was getting up for that jump, and I'd love to see just emotion getting her over that bar.
This is Kulichenko. Wow!
And I love it. She doesn't waste any time. She steps up while the crowd is still engaged, and that is the best looking jump I've seen from her in the qualifying and here in the finals. Boom! She drifts a little into that bar, but she's able just to hesitate. A couple of good makes in a row there, keeping her alive.
And the Finnish athlete, Junila, she needs to get over this to stay alive in the competition. Oh, great height over that bar. Where was that before?
And she knows it. She laid in that run and she put her foot on the ground with a huge clearance there. She's got to believe. She's just, give me that jump 2 more times for 2 more makes. Because sometimes on a fast surface, you got to hold back a little bit.
Well, do you think it's a different surface to what they would have come across in the day where the sun was beating down compared to the night?
Absolutely, yes. Track's a little bit softer in the day when it's really experiencing the high heats. Hey!
Honsel, the German, is over 194. And she's happy. She has that indoor personal best of 198, but she's been chasing that outdoors.
Nice going, just slid over that. Gentle rub on the bar, but she's seeing also what's going on with the rest of the competition now.
All she needs to get a better attempt out in that third round. We are now going through the third round attempts at 194. Postolovsky of Slovenia. One of 6 athletes on their third round attempt. Well, unfortunately, that's all we'll see of Leah Apostolovsky tonight, the Slovenian. She was attempting a personal best. So she cleared an 190. She exited the competition in 8th position at the moment.
With a vision, and all of a sudden you get in this position and it's like, you know, this service doesn't feel comfortable and this crowd is overwhelming and you got to dig deep to find your piece. And find a way to concentrate on nothing but the execution of this run.
Well, she gave it her all in that run-up. You could tell that she really wanted to clear that bar. But unfortunately, Dubovitskaya bows out of the competition, with 190 being her best attempt, and she is in 8th position.
And so often in these competitions, there will be a designated height that will...
Menica, wrapped to be in this final. Can she stay in it? No. You could just tell 194 was a height that was beyond her from her opening round attempt at that height to the final one. She just couldn't get her head around what phases she needed to do to get over this height. Well, Vashti Cunningham, the US would have expected her to be in this competition deep into the heights. She needs this to stay alive.
And it just wasn't there tonight for Vashti. I've had a chance to see her jump on many occasions. I've seen the 2-meter jump. And when she is on, and look at that, she just flew right past her takeoff.
But you know it's there because she had that great clearance at 190 where you saw the Vashti evolve.
Yes.
You knew it was there. So what does she do from here?
Well, she's going to jump in the Diamond League. You know that because she wants to end up back in Eugene, Oregon.
Athlete from Great Britain. What can she do here on her third round attempt? Oh! And she's over!
And prior to her going, I just thought, does she believe? Does she believe? And she certainly does. And Morgan's one of those athletes who she's so accomplished. She's been jumping well for so many years. She just has to trust her run. And it really looked like she was trusting there. Now she gets to jump at tying a personal best at 197.
Oh, Kulichenko, that was a fabulous attempt at what would have been a personal best. She got her height.
Well, long season for that young lady.
Well, she's only 21 years of age, and you sort of sense from that last round attempt that she's got this height in her as she gets older. Well, she'll walk away with an equal personal best from the qualifying of 192, so. Junila, the Finnish athlete. Oh! Talk me through that one, Dan. That was, seemed to get the height, but
wow,
landed on the bar.
Well, that was a really solid jump. All the height way out in front.
What can Mahuchik do? She can put some pressure on the rest of the field. And she does! With an opening round clearance of 197, the only athlete so far in this competition to go clear. She has shot into the lead.
Well, but look at her reaction. You know, this is a bar that she's very adept at making, but this is not an easy competition, and she's just like, woo! You know, whatever they're dealing with out there, some of the issues that that's going on, and it's just high pressure, high tension. You know, it's getting to even Mahuchik.
Can she join Mahuchik in the gold medal position? Yes, she can! First round attempt, first time clearance, 197. The athlete with the highest jump in the world this year has gone over 197 on her first attempt.
Well, she's in the groove now. She just looks like she's found a happy place out there, and whether she's forcing it or not, it's absolutely working, but she's finding joy in the moment.
So she's made the hard decision. She's moved to New South Wales when she had a couple of tough years, and since that move, she's gone from strength to strength. This is a big attempt. Yes! She's over! Champions, when their backs against the wall, they rise to the occasion, and Eleanor Patterson has got the job done on that third round attempt.
And watch this clearance with authority. She goes back to what works for her, and I don't think she ever went away from it, but man, she just brings it around that turn, sweeps that arm, and just goes.
The Jamaican, Lamara Distant, who looked so good at the beginning of this competition. Can she refocus? Oh. The disappointment's etched across her face because she knows that this is a missed opportunity.
Well, and this certainly is a bar. Has better line. Certainly a better line on that run. She clatters it on the way up. Yeah, just kind of hooks it on the way down as well. Looked a little bit better in real time than it did there on the slow motion. But no, Lamara Distant is somebody who we can identify and say she's going to be a factor in major championships in the future.
Well, at the moment, she sits in 4th position, which is where she'll remain if all these remaining athletes miss this third round attempt. Christina Honsel of Germany. Oh, not a bad attempt by Honsel.
Well, solid competition for her. She came through on a third attempt. Big 194 jump. You can leave this competition feeling really good about this finals.
18-year-old Angelina Topic. Oh, drat. That was so close. She got the height and she knows it. Just flicked it with her calves on the way through. She is a star of the future, isn't she, Dan?
Well, that was a big jump. Wow, look at the height on this. Boom, she's way over. You know, she's just, and she knows it. She's like, oh man, I had that. And she just came out of her layout just a tiny bit early. That's just experience.
Last round attempt for Gerashchenko. Another athlete who started this competition off looking fantastic. Big arms. Oh, in a mirror image, she got the height as well, like Topic. But just couldn't get the whole body over. And clips it, as you can see here, the legs.
But it's not a great takeoff. There you see that takeoff foot. It's just not solid. I think everybody was just struggling with that takeoff point just a little bit. This track is quick.
She has one final attempt here, a 197. What can she do? She does give it a tickle, but it stays on.
Big jump for Morgan Lake. Love the self-talk at the beginning. So confident on that turn, and she sticks it in there and lays it out, and she does just give it a tickle.
And she's proud of herself for that one.
Yeah, that's a fist-pumping moment right there.
Look at her, she's absolutely stoked. She's moved herself clear to 4th position, so no matter what happens in the rest of this competition, our final 4 are decided. And Morgan Lake she has put pressure on the field like she did last year. Sails over 199 on opening attempt.
Well, and I don't think this was her best jump, and she gets over this.
Mahuchik has been pushed back down to silver for the time being. Oh, she's a star, isn't she? What a champion. And it was a good attempt.
Oh yeah, there she goes with the self-talk, self-congratulations. Boom, no hesitation. Just do what you do. Put your foot in the ground, rise up, and it's just like, I got it.
And that facial expression, there was no joy, there was no celebration. She knows this high jump competition has really started to heat up, taking her 2nd round attempt at 199. Oh, another nice attempt by Morgan Lake. She's definitely in the form of her life. What does she have to change here, Dan, to get over 199?
I don't think she does much of anything. She's really in a nice group. Both of these attempts, I believe, would have been easy makes at 197. And so the way she's jumping right now, it's just you peck away at it. You just peck away at it. Maybe you just squeeze the tushy a tiny bit. Honestly, it's a hesitation on the top.
Yep.
And you know, but you don't make any big changes because she really looks good.
I wonder if that's what her coach Robbie will say to her. Squeeze the tushy on the way over.
See if we get in trouble with that one. But no, what's interesting though is this is where Morgan Lake needs to believe she belongs.
Yeah,
with the best of the world in the final 4.
I think that was the perfect description of it because, you know, she's brushing it with her backside. So, you know, to get over it, she's getting great height. She's got to arch the back and try and squeeze the bum up a little bit. Nicola Olischlager's 2nd round attempt. Oh, nicely done. And she likes it. There's Matt. And Nicola's had such an incredible 2023 so far. Equaled the Australian record in Lausanne. Disappointed with last season. And squeezed every ounce out of that. Just brushes it a little bit on the way over.
Well, and now is when you know, I was looking at the scoring. It's like, well, maybe she needs to pass this bar and go to the next one. But Morgan Lake, there's still 4 competitors. She needed that. She needed that to help try to secure a bronze. It's going to force Morgan Lake to make this.
So, if you're Morgan Lake, though, and you're out of the medal contention, and you're already in 4th, you'd pass, right? And that's what she's done. She's passed. So she is going to miss taking this 199 attempt. It's going to be a big ask, but she's going to go and take one final attempt at 201, unless, of course, she can do a new lifetime best. First time over 2 meters it would be for Morgan Lake to make it a massive, massive competition. But Morgan Lake, with her only attempt at this height, 201, she passed her last attempt at 199. This to stay in the competition and for a lifetime best. Well, unfortunately, it's not to be for Morgan Lake, but what an incredible competition for her. She will go and be very proud of what she's been able to achieve here in Budapest. 4th in the world. She has made giant leaps forward in the women's high jump.
Man, it's super fun to watch as well. She's always a crowd favorite. She comes in as the 8th ranked high jumper in the world, finishes 4th. That is a tough jump to ask to pass your last attempt at 199, and
A lot have been said about Mahuchik. Is she the one to push that world record? First of all, she's got to get over 2:01, and she does! First athlete clear in this competition at 2:01, and it was a great attempt, Dan.
Well, she looks so calm in between jumps. She just sits until it's time to get up and time to jump. But, oh, boom, she is just locked in. Great attempt. And it looks in the slow-mo like she slightly brushes it. But wow, in real time, it was just a beautiful.
If Patterson clears this, then that's what Ollie Slagers will do. She'll skip her attempts, but Patterson to put pressure on her teammate. It's not to be for Eleanor Patterson. She bows out of the competition with a best clearance of 1:99. She is currently in the silver medal position. But what a fabulous effort for the defending champion, who's had a tough year with injuries, to come out and finish on the podium yet again. She looks disappointed because she is a champion, but what about this attempt, Dan?
Oh, just a little heavy-footed, and you even heard it in real time. That last step just goes bam. It just hits a little heavy. She just doesn't come off it very lightly. And you could tell really as soon as she hit that takeoff point, it's like, that's not going to be it. But she made a good attempt at the bar anyways. But been a really fun competition watching her. And absolutely amazing after the injuries that she's had to overcome.
Well, Nicola Ollie Slagers knows that if she clears this, she takes the silver medal from her countrywoman in Patterson. It's a height that she has cleared this year. She was 5th in the World Championships last year. She's an Olympic medalist with that silver. And she bows out of the competition with a bronze medal. 2 Australians are on the podium, but the night belongs to the Ukrainian Yaroslava Mahuchik. The Australians will rejoice to have 2 athletes on the podium.
Well, the Australian women looked dominant in the qualifying rounds. You knew they were going to be 2 athletes who were going to be here, some of the last athletes standing here in the finals, but it's just fun to watch them work. 2 different personalities and, 2 certainly different styles of jumping, and that's what you got to love about the high jump as well, is there's just more than one way to get this done. Not one technique is more dominant than another, and even everybody's different body styles in a lot of different ways.
2:07, an incredible height. It would be a personal best. Her PB so far is, or as the Americans say, PR, is 2:06. So she's put the bar up to a personal best. Her second round attempt, but the winner of the women's high jump world champion, taking home the gold at this competition for the first time ever, is Ukraine's Yaroslava Mahuchik. Mahuchik, she'll take this medal back. The Ukrainians will be very proud of their superstar.
Thank you so much. And all I want to say is, go to my father that I get the gold medal finally for my country, and I show that we'll never give up and we'll fight it to the end.
Congratulations, you wonderful, wonderful athlete. Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, the Ukrainian athletes have just become fan favorites now, and not just at the World Championships, but at the Diamond League meetings certainly as well. I got a chance to call the Special Olympics in Berlin, and the Ukraine athletes were just so celebrated there. And
Nicola Olislagers, who always makes everybody feel like they want to go out there and high jump because she looks like she's having the time of her life. But the night belonged to one person, and that was Yaroslava Mahuchik with that 2:01 clearance and a really great attempt at 2:07. She takes home the gold medal for Ukraine, and it's two Aussies in the silver and bronze. Eleanor Patterson, the defending champion, with a season's best of 1:99, and Nicola Olislagers in the bronze with 1:99 too.
Well, good finish there. Morgan Lake, Lamara Diston, youngsters finishing in the top 5 there. It says a lot about what the high jump is going to look like over the next few years.
Well, there's a lot to look forward to. You can see the quality of athletes that finished off the podium.